Echo 3-1, Viper 1-1 on approach, ready for tasking. What's your position? Roger, 7-1. Target acquired. Weapons free in 5 seconds.
Dun dun dun. Good evening, pips, and if you are joining us, you are of course joining us for a belated recap show, and you are joining myself and NSeeker707. How are you, Seeker?
I'm great. I'm very cold though. It's very, very cold up in Johannesburg this
Yeah,
evening.
yes, it's not pretty, eh? It's not pretty.
It's no, no, I'm not made for this, eh? I'm not made for this. So if you guys don't hear from me like after a few days, please, send antifreeze.
Saint antifreeze, that's cool. Right. So, guys, if you have joined us tonight, thank you very much for joining. And if you're already subscribed to the channel, you are awesome. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please become awesome. Hit that little subscribe button and show us some love. If you like what we are doing here at Clan Wars, also give us a like on this video. And as always, I will ask the people in the chat and the guys who have joined us tonight if everything is good on your side, good video, good audio, and that sort of thing. And yeah, if you could please let us know, I would appreciate that from my side. But talking about people on the chat, Seeker, who do we have that has joined us so far tonight?
Right, so very first up we have S from Evil, Seth or Sloth from Evil, and of course we've got Mr. White from Evil as well. Hello guys. We've got Peace Destroyer from Zold, we've got Gummy on here, Cal from GSE, Lisa from both Evil and GSG, Afe Meister is from VDT, we've got Psycho who is from Project Alpha, I think. JP, if I'm not mistaken, is from Dark Divine. We've also got who else? Who else? Who else? We've got Vixen, Robin here from Project Alpha, Carl Forsloo from Zold, Charles from Gig, Yochi is here, and Floofy is late. How dare you, Floofy?
Fluffy in the house.
Sorry, Psycho from Phoenix Gaming. My bad.
Is-
There's
at-
so many psychos
at least-
in the tournament
at
at the
least
moment. I
Fluffy
don't know.
arrived late. Better late than never, right?
Oh, and of course now also we've got some latecomers now who also saying hi. We've got Senjin here from I want to say F2O, but I know it's FRB now, and Chris Sauer is here as well as Villicant.
Right. So
Chris is here, but he says our Prexy is also on.
okay. So it's a family affair. It's a family affair. Right. So Seeker, tonight we actually have an extremely exciting show for the peeps, don't we?
Dude,
Yo.
the amount of stats, yo.
It is crazy. It is crazy. So there's two things I want to call out very quickly, right? Well, actually three things. Before we get into a jam-packed show full of stats and stuff, it is awesome. I can't actually wait to show everybody what has been done, and I think it's going to be really cool. You know what? I'm lying. There's four things I need to call out. Yo, it's getting more. The longer I take, the more it gets, right?
Yeah.
Right, so first thing first, I think I have to definitely call out Mr. Black Sailor Ranger, who is our stats master. And I'm going to for now say this guy has a incredible ability to work with the figures and stats and graphs and stuff like that. And you guys will later on tonight see exactly why I said it. It is absolutely awesome. And I really want to call out this guy. He did an absolutely amazing job. Now, we did actually ask him to join us on the recap show tonight, but dedication calls, right? So I think Mr. Black Sailor Ranger is actually still at work at the moment, and he might join us in the chat a little bit later on when he gets home. But at the moment, he's still at work. But definitely, I want to give the guy a call out. And just to be fair,
That's actually, that's actually why we've got his gameplay on in the background. 'Cause we've got to give him a call out.
That was
Yeah.
what I was going to say. To be fair, he is
I
sort
am
of
so sorry.
he is sort of with us because he's in the gameplay at the back. So it is his gameplay that you guys are looking at, and that was the second thing I was going to call out. So the third thing that I want to
Sorry.
call out, it's fine. We're same page, right? So the third thing that I want to call out is, of course, you guys will still notice that we have the pink Clan Wars logo up there. And of course, that will still be for the next week and a bit, so almost 2 weeks. Of course, we committed to support the pink movement for the 6-week period that it is running. And then, of course, we will have our brand logo back. So you will still see the pink logo there tonight. Of course, when we do put our brand logo back, it doesn't mean we forget about the cause, right? I mean, we will still support, and we will be vigilant. And, of course, we will not tolerate, that sort of behavior when it comes to gender-based violence. Well, I don't want to call it violence. I want to say gender-based... give me a nice word. Harassment is a good word. So we will be vigilant against that still, but of course our brand logo will be back. But again, even if it disappears, it doesn't mean we forget about the cause. And then, as a fourth and very important point, we have been joined by a new league master, have we not, Seeker?
We have.
And
he's taking the pressure off of me.
Exactly, and he's joining us now from the Hardpoint segment of season 3, isn't he?
That's right.
And I think you can make the announcement official.
Right, so from this Hardpoint segment of season 3, we will have Toxic Monkey, who is joining us as League Master for Divisions 4 and 5.
Whoop whoop.
The problem children.
Yes.
Love them to bits, but lots of work.
We of course only told him that after he joined, right?
Yes. I didn't tell him which divisions he would be overseeing.
No. I was selling timeshare.
Yeah. It's great. It's a great opportunity. You get to be a league master. It's awesome. And then also.
Yeah. And by the way, right. But listen, we have got a absolutely jam-packed show for tonight, don't we? We actually were supposed to do the show last night because it's very strange doing the recap show on a Monday night. But of course, we have these added challenges that we face in the form of load shedding, right? And
good old ESCOM.
I'm telling you. And then, of course, last night, right in our time slot, there was a bit of the load shedding going on.
The load.
Yes, there was a bit of the load shedding going on, and of
shedding
course,
of the load. Yes,
and the shedding of the load interfered a little bit with our weekly schedule. They gave us a new schedule to work on, and that's of course the reason for us bringing you guys the recap show on a Monday night. But we wanted to do it as early in the week as possible because, of course, this week the first games for the Hardpoint section of the tournament is of course already kicking off. Now, of course, we might have some challenges because of load shedding as well, and but the guys are pretty clued up. I mean, we've communicated as much as we can regarding the load shedding, and as long as the schedules are being watched and the guys schedule accordingly, of course we will do our best to still fit all the games in and try and work around everyone's schedules. It's definitely a challenge, but
it is, and this is where Sika puts on her organizer hat.
Yes,
right?
Yes. This is where I stand back and watch the magic happen.
Please check your schedules. Do not schedule a match for a Thursday night if you have not already figured out if your team is going to be able to actually take part on the Thursday.
Yes, because of course, from experience, what happens is that 15 minutes before the match, there's some random message that says, I have load shedding, and you've had the schedule for like ever. So yeah. Please pay attention to that, guys. I know that the guys that are in the league at the moment are actually pretty much on top of it. But I think it's still worth a mention, right, Sika?
check with your teammates. Make sure you have subs.
Yes,
Please.
yes,
Because it's
yes.
not always guaranteed that your electricity is going to come back on at 8 o'clock.
You
I'm telling you this from experience.
I was about to say, you say that so convincingly, like you've experienced this before.
I am in Johannesburg, right? We have 4 hour load shedding at a
Yeah,
time,
they don't even get
and
me
it does
started.
not come on when it says it's going to come on.
And can I tell you, at certain levels, I'm actually hit twice a day
Oh, yeah.
with
But
that
that's what happened
nonsense,
yesterday,
right?
correct? And then
Yes,
you were hit a second time
yes,
last
I
night.
was hit in the morning, and then was hit in the evening as well. So I mean, combined, it was 9 hours yesterday, right? So I mean, I was just like,
Yes.
the recap show is not going to happen, even if I try.
So guys, there are apps, guys. There are apps that give you your schedule for the whole week.
I wish there was an app that I could plug into that gave power. That would be cool. That
There
would be.
is. It's called a generator.
I've smarty pants. All right. Anyway, so we are here tonight to talk a little bit about this season, and of course tonight, guys, what we want to do is primarily cover the first section of the tournament that has passed, and that is the domination section of the tournament, and really give you guys an overview and some good statistical values of how that went. And I think, Sika, what we can do is we can probably start off with the overall stats, right?
Yes, I think overall stats always a great place to start.
There we
People
go.
know how we've been doing.
Nice. So, guys, if you look at the overall stats, so please remember that these are the overall total league stats for the domination segment of the tournament so far. So, in other words, that's up until break week, which was, of course, last week. And what you see there is that originally a total of 52 teams started the competition. For the first part, so for the domination part, there was 168 matches that was scheduled, and out of that 168 matches, 142 of those matches were actually played. 26 of those matches.
Yes, Floofy, we see there was an Afrikaans person doing this slide, so it is 142 matches were played.
So, did I say was? I didn't say was. I corrected it
No,
automatically.
on the slide it says was played.
Oh, I see that now. Yes, so 168 matches was played, and so they were played, and 142 matches, of course, were played, and 26 of those matches were forfeited. Now, guys, the 26 forfeit matches are not all of them are outright forfeits. Some of them, of course, were where, say, for example, a team played one match and then maybe dropped a couple of players or whatever may be the case. And then, of course, they took the entire match as a forfeit, but nonetheless, 26 matches were forfeited, so 142 completed games or completed matches. Now, in terms of players, of course, this is not the amount of registered players, but these are the number of active players that actually played. Even if it was one game, if they've played a game, they registered on the site as an active player. So there were 454 active players that played during the domination part of the season. Now, as you guys might know, and especially some of the teams that are joining us on the stream as well, in the beginning of the season, you registered a number of players, maybe 12 or 14 or whatever may be the case. And of course, some of those players you registered in mind that they are hardpoint players and not necessarily domination players, right? Mm-hmm. So you will see some of the rosters now swap, and especially after transfer week, there was quite a few new players added as well. And those primarily sometimes get added because of the fact that they are more hardpoint players, for example, than domination. But active domination players, there were 454 recorded during the season so far. So total kills is a nice number. 141,839 is the total kills that was.
Got some violent people on this.
I'm telling you, that was rocked up during the domination part. So I mean, that's a good, maybe a First World War good battle number. I don't know. It's quite big, 141,000, right? And total score.
This one, however, gets me.
Total score is actually ridiculous, right? 21,589,060. I almost
You
went.
could be president with that.
I was about to say that. Yaku for president.
Yeah. I
21,
mean,
21,589 and 60.
well done.
Total score, right? And of course, the part that we don't always like to do, but a part that has to be done when necessary, is of course also there were some penalties issued. And in the first part of the season, so in the domination part, there were 24 yellow cards issued and 3 red cards. Now, can I tell you guys something? That 24 is quite a lot for a season right now. But then what I did is I actually went back into previous seasons and looked at the number of cards versus the number of teams, and it's actually not too bad, right? It's there and thereabout. So obviously, because this season there's so many teams, of course there's also an opportunity for more yellows being issued and so forth, right? So from a ratio perspective, this season isn't bulked up on yellow cards, but there we go, 24 yellows issued and 3 reds for the season so far.
Yeah. I think as well, something to take into account is the fact that there's so many new teams. So, I mean,
Exactly.
guys coming from, not playing any competitive aspect at all to playing a match where you've got set rules, you have banned weapons, you've got banned equipment, and you almost or don't always remember that for the first few weeks or all 7 weeks, as some teams are.
Well, we'll talk a
Just,
little bit about the next time we are going to be online, and then we'll laugh a little bit about why we are laughing about that, right? But anyway, so that is the total overall stats. Now, guys, because of the fact that we track these stats now very comprehensively, we are going to show you something new tonight, which I think is exceptionally cool. And again, calling out Black Sailor Ranger here, he did a phenomenal job. And I'm actually going to pull up what we call now the team player card, or the team stats cards. And you will see them on your screen there. Now, what you are looking at is the team stats cards for the top 3 teams in Division 1. Now, there's a couple of things I need to explain, because clearly there's a lot of information on the screen, right? So the first thing that you are looking at is you are looking at 3 teams, and they have 3 different backgrounds on their card. Now, the first card is black or obsidian. The second card is Damascus, sorry. Yes, is the word just left me there for a second. So the second card is Damascus, and of course the third card is platinum. Now, there is also a gold card, and there is also a green card, right? For 4th and 5th position. Well, actually for 4th position it's gold, and then everybody else has a green background, right? And that is the player cards. Now, the reason why I'm telling you guys what the player card is that every team in the league at the moment has a team stats card like this. But tonight we will cover the top 3 teams in every division. And then by the end of this week, so by probably Friday or Saturday, around about there, I will have uploaded every team's stats card to their team page on the website. So every team can actually go to the website, go to their team page, and you will see your team stats card, and it will be displayed on your team page there. Now, that's the first part. So let's start explaining with VDT, for example. So if you look at VDT, the very first thing there that you will notice is something called the team power rating. So the team power rating is an internal score that we use, and basically what it is it is the team's total score in the league so far divided by the number of games that they have played, and that gives you the team power rating, right? That's the first thing that you have to notice. The second thing is, of course, the winning ratio, and that's very simple. That is out of the amount of games that you've played, how many of those games have you won? And it's obviously a percentage. Then you will have both domination and hardpoint statistics for the team specifically for the tournament so far. So of course we've done the first part, which is the domination part, and each team can actually see their total number of kills, total deaths, and of course the average KD of that team, right? And of course the average KD is calculated by the KD of players that were active during during the season or up until now, divided by the number of those players, right? And that will give them an average KD. Below that on the left, you will see a little crown, and that represents the captain of that particular team. And then 3 little stars, which is the 3 MPVs, most valuable players for that team. And those most valuable players have been identified based on the score that they have achieved up to now. And then the last thing that you have to look at is bottom right hand, and that is something called closest rivals, and that is based on the league tables. So in the case of VDT, for example, you can see that they are top of their table, and their two closest rivals is cross-platform rejects, that is 126 points below them, and after that their closest rival is GSE, Gunslingers Elite, which is 546 points below them. So that is how you read the team stats card. Now, I would love to, from the chat, understand whether the guys are actually liking what they are seeing before we actually go into the detail.
There is one thing that you left out though.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the red and yellow cards.
Oh, sorry, I did leave that out, didn't I? Okay, but that's pretty self-explanatory.
So luckily, no
right?
one here has any, but yes.
It's because everybody has zeros, right?
Yes.
Okay, which is a good thing. Right. So let's get into it, right? So that is how you read it. So I hope everybody was with me while I was explaining, because now we are going to look at the top 3 teams in each division. So of course, here in Division 1, we have VDT there at the top. In second position with the Damascus skin there, we've got cross-platform rejects. And of course, cross-platform rejects, their closest rivals GSE and VDT. So VDT 126 points above them. GSE is 420 points behind cross-platform rejects in third position with their platinum
That's
skin
an
there.
interesting number.
Why?
Just saying. No, just saying.
And of course, they are then in third position is GSE. The 3 captains, of course, VDT is DC10. We've got Gemini Batman for cross-platform rejects, and of course, Galpone is the captain there for GSE. Well, I shouldn't say captain, right? I should say, because sometimes he's not the captain.
Well,
he's the leader.
It should be captain at this point. Captain or our sort of
clan leader,
organizer for the clan.
Yes. So I think it's a very nice view, right? You can very easily see the top 3 teams. And can I tell you the most interesting thing, right, is if you look at the top team, which is VDT, if you look at their kills, they've achieved 2,769 kills in the tournament so far, right? And in third position, you have GSE, which actually achieved a higher number of kills. So 2,910 kills.
Yes.
Right.
And actually CPR there with even more kills, 3,016.
Exactly. So they are then...
And this is why.
They are then...
Kills don't always mean wins.
There we go. And that was the point I was going to raise. Because if you look at the team power rating, you will see that it progressively gets higher the higher you are ranked in the table, and that makes sense, right? Because it's your total score divided by the number of games that you have. So there we go, guys. That is the top 3 teams for Division 1. Now our stats master, Mr. Black Sailor Ranger, has effectively done this for every division, which was a hell of a lot of work. So I really feel like I need to call the guy out again. But moving on to Division 2 then. And for Division 2, you have with the Obsidian skin there, you have F2O, or First to Obliterate Gaming. Now, before I move on, there is an announcement that we have to make about First to Obliterate. And that is that during the break week, they were actually picked up by a sponsor. So, whoop, whoop, whoop. Very well done to First to Obliterate. And Seeker, they are now who?
FRB.
FIB.
First in battle, I think.
Yes, you are right. First in battle. so guys, you will see on the league tables from next week, their name will also be changed. Of course, we do allow name changes of a team when they are being picked up by a sponsor. Of course, we don't want to, not have people being picked up because they're not allowed to change their name. And of course, FIB will require that that name change happens as a sponsorship requirement. But for the domination part of the season, they were, of course, First to Obliterate, and they are the number 1 team there in the Division 2. They are followed closely there by the Damascus skin of Dark Divine Gaming. And Dark Divine, they're actually with a team power rating not too far off from F2O, so very, very close there. And in third position, we have Motion Esports, and Motion actually doing quite well there as well. Now, the interesting thing is that if you look at Motion Esports with their Platinum skin there, they actually have a win ratio of 86%, which is slightly higher than Dark Divine Gaming in second position with 71. But what that means is that Dark Divine, even in the games that they lost, they actually scored very high points. Because remember, you are ranked based on your score, on your total points. So therefore, Dark Divine going into the second position there, because even the games that they've lost very, very narrowly, right?
Yeah.
So that's
Definitely.
basically the way you read that.
I just want to point out that GSG is like hot on the heels of Motion there.
Well, actually, with this, we can tell, we know exactly, right? So GSE only 148 points below Motion Esports. So very, very good. Very good. Right, I'm going to move on to Division 3, and then I'm going to open for some questions on the chat, because I think by now there should probably be some. And we are looking at Division 3, and in Obsidian there we've got Divine Gaming, and that's of course the Dragon team, and they are in the lead there with a team power rating of 729 and a win ratio of 83%. So actually very, very well, or they're doing very, very well, because the closest power rating after them is from Project Beta Tarkmach, and they're on 575, right? So they are sitting there on their Damascus skin, and of course in Platinum, or in third position there, we have the gentleman from 4QM8. And interesting division this. It was a bit of a tough one at some point, and it will actually remain a bit of a challenge for the remainder of the tournament, and we're going to see who's going to come out on top here in Division 3. Sika, any questions?
So on this one, I specifically want to point out though how close 4Q Mate is to Project Alpha.
66
I
points,
mean, there's
right?
66 points between them at this point.
That's like
and I mean
nothing.
that is so close. Another thing as well that I just want to point out, you know, we had team captains for the first half, and sometimes they do change halfway through. So into Hardpoint now, the team captain might change. So I know there is a change in some of the teams so far. So just obviously, if you're looking at it and you see that, first of all, your logo might not be the new one, it's because that's the logo you used in Domination. So it will change then for your Hardpoint side. Same as your team captain might change then for your Hardpoint side.
Absolutely, and that's maybe an important thing to call out, guys, that all the stats that you are looking at here on the team cards, they are of course accumulative stats for the first part of the tournament. These are not the sort of weekly stats that we call out on the weekly recap show. This is for the entire Domination segment, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to close that one, and then I'm going to allow some questions in the chat. Are there any, or am I explaining
No questions
well as
so
we
far.
go?
Everybody pretty much just saying that they love these team cards. And of course, Black Satyr Ranger has joined us just in time to hear everybody say how much they love his team cards.
Good. I was trying to get the man on to give us a bit of a voice over on the chat, on the stats. But like I said, dedication calls, and he was still working a little bit late, right? So moving on then to Division 4. And Division 4, we at the top there have, of course, the team of Notorious Thugs, and that is the Amuba team. And they're actually doing quite well. I mean, the win-loss ratio, considering that they are top of the table, you can again see that they've lost some games, but they have managed to maintain very, very high scores, even in the games that they've lost. They've taken one yellow as well, which is unfortunate, but still remains the top of the board there. Then we have the team in Damascus, who is the team of Fear, also doing very, very well. And of course, their closest rivals, and in third in Platinum, is of course the team of FTWK. Oh, apologies. And and that is your 1, 2, and 3 for Division 4. Say again, it's the what?
I hope it's not the vid.
No, it's not the vid. Come on. So there we go, guys. Notorious Thugs, the Amuba team. Fear in second position there, with FTWK following them in third. So very nice, very nice.
I just want to say as well, if you look at the FTWK closest rival there, right behind them with 46 points is Blair Gaming. Blair Gaming could have been at the top here,
Absolutely,
if not
absolutely.
for their cards.
Well, the problem why we couldn't put Blur's team card on the screen is that that yellow block sort of is so extended that it fills up like part of the card. So I hope Blank
So
is.
we can't. Blank's not here. I don't know if Blank's here.
Is
So
Blank not
we
watching?
can't give him.
Can't give him a
Can't give
stick.
him hell.
Yeah, we know it's not that bad. It's not that bad. So there we go, guys. That is Division 4 for you. So moving off Division 4 and on to Division 5. And again, this is a hard division, right? The teams in this division they're so close, right? But in the first position there, we of course have the team of the Original Gentlemen's Club, and they are
Not anymore. Not anymore. Now it's just OGC Esports.
yeah, well, correct, right? But I mean, again, the name change will only be effective from Hardpoint, right? So for domination, we still knew them as the Original Gentlemen's Club, but of course, from Hardpoint onwards, they will be known as OGC Esports, and they've also rebranded and
With a shiny new logo.
with a shiny new logo and doing some cool stuff as well. So you'll also see a logo change and a slight name change there, but of course, the same great people to play with. Closest rivals for them there, of course, Falcon in second with their Damascus scheme there. And the gap is really not that big, right? 267 points. And then even a smaller gap between Falcon and B1 Gaming, right? So B1 Gaming only 63 points below Falcon Gaming. So first...
The game with those 3 yellow cards.
Yes. So B1 could have been much higher. They would have been, definitely. They would have gone to second position. Was it not for those yellows? But of course, the 3 yellows issued in the season so far. But I haven't seen a yellow in a 1 or 2 games. So hopefully that's not going to happen again, right? But there we go. Division.
So we do have one question on the chat.
Sure.
And it's the winning percentage. Is it match or map based? The winning percentage is match based, not map based.
Correct. So it is match based. If it was map based, of course, that would look slightly different, but this is match based. So in other words, total score based. All right. Is that the only question? Wow, I actually thought we were going to have a lot more on these, but okay, apparently.
Well, it's very self-explanatory, except for that one question.
Can I tell you, I absolutely
because
love
JP
these
is from
things,
Dark
right?
Divine, and they took one map against F2O.
Of course. Right, guys. So before I move on to the last 2 divisional cards or the team cards for the divisions, I just want to mention again for those people that might have joined late or didn't listen intently when I was explaining what the cards are about. These are the team stats cards, and they are the accumulative scores for the first part of the season. And every team within the league actually has one, and they will be appearing on your team pages. Probably, I don't want to commit really to Friday, but let's say by Friday, latest probably Saturday, depending on how my week goes. And every team will actually get one, so you can go and check out your own teams, or you can go and check out someone else's team. It will display on their team pages on the website. Of course, the website www.bfclanwars.net, and it will be under the team section. So if you go onto teams for season 3 and you select any team, this will show right at the bottom, and it will be the team card cumulative score for the season so far, which is of course the domination segment of the tournament. So in case you have missed that is the stats cards that we are covering. And in case you are wondering, if you've arrived late, the black is Obsidian, which is first position. The second is Damascus, which is second position. And of course the third one is Platinum, but there is also a gold card for fourth position, and then of course every position after that has the green camo skin. So that is sort of how the skin links up to your position within the league at the moment.
Just on that,
yes.
You said the area of the team after that gets a green card. If you happen to stumble upon a clan or a team that has a red player card, they are no longer in the tournament.
They have been flagged. So yes, guys, if there was a team that has left the tournament from the start, in other words, those teams that sprained a hamstring or broke a shoelace or whatever may be the case,
Got a cramp.
those teams will have red team stats cards, just indicating that they are, of course, no longer in the tournament, right? So there we go. Moving on then from Division 5 onto Division 6. And in Division 6, in Obsidian there, we of course have the Monkeys. And they've had an absolutely stunning season so far. I mean, look at that winning ratio. They have a 100% winning ratio, right? I think
all the way up until last week when they got a yellow card.
Exactly. But even with the yellow, they still took the win. Of course, the yellow just influenced their scores, right? So
and their rating.
Yes, it was a bit of an einer there on the one map. So they unfortunately did pick up that yellow, but it did influence their power rating a little bit. And but overall, they've had an absolutely magnificent season so far. Of course, their closest rivals, they're 297 points below them, is of course the Divine Gaming Viserion team. And also doing exceptionally well. Not a big gap between the team power rating of the Monkeys and the Viserion team. And right there in third position, just below Divine Gaming Viserion from
just.
Power rating perspective. Just. And even score-wise, 26 points in it. Can you believe it? 26 points on the league table. That's nothing. It's nothing. It's a few seconds, right? That you have to keep the hard point for longer. But they are there in third position, and that's of course the team of Zold Gaming. And these guys are, I mean, they're new to the league, but I've enjoyed watching them play, and they've been good sports as well. So I'm happy to see them.
They've also got a very interesting new logo coming.
Yes, they of course also have a logo change, right? So guys, not most, but some of these teams, of course, this is the last time that you will see their old logos, because we are of course recapping the first half of the season, and then of course you will see some of the new logos, and the team names of course remain the same, barring the one team that has been picked up by a sponsor that requires a team name change, and the other ones you will just see the change in logo. Anything that you want to...
Yochi in the chat here says that you should have some Red Bull before you go on. And I laughed internally at that.
You did? Why?
Yes.
Do I sound out of breath?
Because no, but before we went live, I heard the... So I know there's a Red Bull there.
There is. Listen. This is how it sounds on my table. Can you hear it? It's right here. So moving on then, and we are moving on to the last division, and that is of course Division 7. And in the top there, with the Obsidian skin, we have the team of CTK. And they also have an exceptionally good season, or having an exceptionally good season. Not managed to pick up any yellows or reds, and they have a winning ratio currently of 100%. So doing exceptionally well. However, the second team is so close, 99 points, right? And that is the team of Rex, sitting there with their...
This is what I'd like to call the Battlefield division.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, you're actually right. Wow. I only noticed that now. So there we go. All three of these teams are, of course, come from the Battlefield days with us, right?
Yep.
So Rex in second, and PDT there in third position. But look at this, right? So you've got 99 points separating first and second position, and then you've got a little bit of a gap there, 184. Not a big gap, but a small gap there separating second and third. Now look at third and fourth. If you look at PDT, if you look at PDT's closest rival, that is of course the Regicide team, and they are 3 points. 3 points. I'm not lying. There's not a typo there.
3 seconds.
Yeah, that's 3 seconds that they have to hold the hard point longer in the coming 6-7 weeks. And they will move into third position.
Quinny Mulder is here from TNT Regicide as well. So you guys, 3 seconds behind.
Hectic.
3 seconds more you need to hold hard points.
So there we go, guys. So that is your Team Stats Cards Division 1 to 7, and we really hope you guys enjoyed that. Again, I mean, I have to call out Black Sailor Ranger. He did an absolutely amazing job on those Team Stats cards. And as I said, by the weekend, you see how I got out of that Friday thing now. By the weekend,
Oh yes, by the weekend.
these stats cards or these team stats cards will be available on each and every team's team page that is participating within the league as well. And of course, all the same stats will appear across all of them. So by the weekend, you guys are more than welcome to go and visit those team pages and have a look at either your own or, of course, at some of the other ones. Now, here's the thing. Because we track these stats so tremendously close, we can actually now start identifying top teams in the entire league and, of course, top players in the entire league, right? And that's exciting. Whoop, whoop. That's super exciting. So first of all, what we are going to look at now, after looking at the top 3 teams in every division, is I actually wanted to now look at the top 5 teams in the entire league, right? Now, if you guys are wondering how that is calculated, that's actually very easy, because if you saw the team power rating, that is a very good indicator of where you lie within the league, right? And of course, these top 5 teams are, let's call it rated or called out based on their team power rating, right? And if I look at them, and at the top there, we have the team of VDT. They are in Division 1. And just for fun, we added their KD ratios. That's the average ones. Now, of course, you can see those on the team stats cards as well. So, I mean, it's not, it won't be different or different from what you see on there. And of course, we added the win ratio as well. In the second position there, we have F2O. They are in Division 2. The Monkeys there slipping into third. They are Division 6. Motion Division 2. And of course, the Original Gentlemen's Club, or the Original Gentlemen's Club, but from next season only OGC Esports. I already wanted to start calling them that, and I had to remember that it's only from the Hardpoint section, right? So there we go, guys. That is for now the top 5 teams, right? And of course, that is only for the domination part of the season so far. So there is much time left to change the statistics if you want to. Yeah. Now, the next segment, Secret, is your favorite segment. That's where you start, where you will be able to call out players' names. But before we move on to that section, anything in the chat that we need to call out?
Right, so there is one player here who's asked, how do we get into these clan wars? Put me in, coach. Right, Tariq. So basically, you have a clan that you want to enter into the season. Obviously, season 3, we've already got all the teams in. And they're already halfway through now. But from season 4, if you've got a new team that wants to take part, we already have basically a group full of guys who are entering new teams. So yeah, hit me up. I'm NSeeker 707.
So NSeeker 707. If you don't know where to reach us, you can of course reach us either via the website, which is www.bfclanwars.net. Or, of course, go and join us on our Facebook page, which is COD ZA. You can search for that, Call of Duty ZA, and you will find our Facebook page there. And, of course, you can get in contact with us via the Facebook page as well. Just so you guys know, there's about 8 teams on the waiting list already for Season 4. So I said to the guys in that Season 4 group the other day, I'm sorry that you have to watch all of this going on and you can't yet participate. But hang around and we will entertain you soon enough.
Please hold.
Please hold. We will entertain you shortly. So there we go.
A representative will be with you shortly.
You see, there's that PA voice. Right. Seeker, so what I'm going to pull up now first for you is the top 10 players overall in the domination segment of the tournament. And that is what I'm going to say, and then I'm going to keep quiet and give it to you. It's up.
All right, so is it up? It is up. Okay, cool. So top 10 players in season 3 domination. All right, so again, guys, if you look at the screen, you're going to see that it is score based and not KD based. We've put the KDs there so you can have a look and see more or less where they're lying, but it is score that determines the top teams or the top players in the domination section. So first up there we have Essex Desire from TNT Regicide with a score of 134,600. I'm so used to saying it the other way, with just a small score each week. But now,
Seeker
yeah.
for vice
So
president.
130. Vice President, yes. 134,600 with a KD of 1.83. Then we've got Panda G from Dark Divine with a score of 131,275 with a KD of 1.21. And we've got B1G's Aprexi with 127,500 and a KD of 1.81. Synoptics, which I always get wrong from MSNK, with a
Well,
score of 126,000.
You're doing much better than I would have, right? By the way.
The score of 126,375 and a KD there of 2.16. Then we have Flashy Ox from Falcon Gaming with a score of 126,005 points with a KD of 1.28. Deleted from Fear with 119,200 points and 1.71 on the KD. And we have Zenith from GSG, whoop whoop, with a score of 115,150 points and a KD of 1.45.
Nice, very well done.
And oh, gotta give a little whoop whoop there for the GSG girls.
There we go.
All right, so we have Sad Panda from Motion with a score of 106,100 points with a KD of 1.71. Oak from F20 with 99,980 with a KD of 2.99,980.
What a number, right? Yes, he needed 10 points more. Actually, he needed 19
20.
points more. No, he just needed 19, and that would have been like perfect, right? 99,999. So anyway, all right, carry on.
All right, now that I've been derailed, KD of 2.09. And then we have Reactivity from Motion with a score of 84,875 points, but an incredible KD of 2.49.
Yes, actually the highest KD of all those those players on the list. Now, guys, something that we didn't mention before we put up this list is that the way that you have first of all looked at in terms of this list is that to get onto the list, you first of all have to actually be better than the average, right? Now, of course, that stands to reason, because if you are a top scoring player, you will, of course, already be on there, you know, nonetheless.
It just limits the amount of stats we have to go through.
Exactly. So the way that we identify the list very easily, I would say, is that we first of all knock off everyone that's below the average, and then look at the above average players, and then of course define the top players from there, right? So it's a bit of a process, but like I said, Mr. Ranger has had his cap on, his pen out, his calculator. I don't know what other tools he had out, but he did a very, very good job at getting us some of these stats. Now, we wanted to show you guys this list first so that you understand how we rank players and how we get to them. Now, this is, of course, overall across the entire domination period, and of course across all teams. These are the top 10 players based on score. But then what we did is we went one step further and we actually ranked the top players for every division, right, Seeker?
Yep.
So you tell me when you are ready, and I will start at Division 1 and give those to you.
I'm ready. I'm
helping. Right, so Division 1 is on the screen for you.
All right, so top 10 players in Division 1, and we're not going to give scores and KDs, but this is actually based off of score. So we've got Pegasus Stock from VDT, it's Sheps from GSE, Mr. White from Evil, whoop whoop, Faistia from Phoenix Warriors, Shady Lurker from CPR, Paradox from Phoenix Warriors, Oreo ZA also from Phoenix Warriors, Jules from GSE, Giuliano from VDT, and Ancient Enigma from VDT.
There we go. And actually not a bad spread here. The top 10 players in Division 1, so pretty balanced. See a couple of each team there. Of course, Mr. White, for you standing out there, well done.
Of course.
Nice. Moving on to Division 2.
All right, so in Division 2 we have Panda G from Dark Divine, and again Zenith from GSG, whoop whoop. The Frigery from Dark Divine, Zeno from Motion, Sad Panda also from Motion, Spark from Dark Divine, Oak from F2O, Proto Alpha from F2O, Quest from F2O, and Reactivity from Motion.
There we go. So F2O obviously standing out a little bit here, but Motion giving them a run. And Divine or Dark Divine not far behind there, right? And then of course the girls sneaking in a Zenith there.
Yeah, we just threw Zenith in there just quickly.
Yeah. Right, Division 3.
So Division 3, we have DMO Ace from Divine Gaming Drogon. And actually, there's a few Divine Gaming Drogons here, so I'm just going to read it out as Drogon. Ziggalicious from Drogon, Rabstance from Drogon, Flamehound SA from Drogon. Then we have Barnatki from 4Q Mate, Void from Blair, Hannes my hero from Drogon. I feel weird saying that.
He created that name so you could say Hannes my hero.
Yeah. Hannes, of course, Hannes is my hero. We've got AKL from Drogon, Nova from Blair, and Celestial from Blair.
Very nice, very nice. And that is Division 3. And guys, of course, before we go on to the next screen, what we are looking at the moment is the top 10 players within each division. And of course, this is based on score. Moving on then to Division 4.
Right, so in Division 4, we have Deleted from Fear, Hectic from FTWK, King Jinx from TNT Amoeba, Extreme from FTWK, Badges from FTWK, Fatal from TNT Amoeba. Wow, this one is going to be a tongue twister. Biggelins from FTWK. I apologize if I'm not saying that right.
Well, it's good.
I'll just call you Biggie.
Yeah, Biggie's good.
Gorilla Mist from RSA from Invasion Gaming, Valpay from Blair 2, and Steinman from Fear.
I wonder if
Steinman?
Steinman from Fear. There we go.
Steinman.
I wonder if H2O was taken, and then the guy then it was like, oh no, I can't do H2O. I'll just do Valpay.
Oh, big fan of water, bottled water. There.
Yes, big fan of bottled water. But well done to those players. Moving then on to Division 5.
Right, in Division 5, we of course have our Prexy from B1G. We see him every week on that top 3 sheet. Flashy Ox from Falcon Gaming, Malmav from Boar, Slushy from Phoenix Phantoms, Bender from B1G. We've got Tipex from Falcon Gaming, and I absolutely love that name. I just got to say every single time. Killer from Boar, General Fat Cat from Boar, Late Wolf from OGC, and Heel Spills. Am I missing an Afrikaans thing there somewhere from Boar?
No.
Heel Spills.
No, Heel Spills. That's, I don't know. Oh wait, you are missing an Afrikaans thing. Heel Spills. Oh, yes. But I can't explain that on stream though. But yes, it's an Afrikaans thing. Right then, moving on swiftly to Division 6.
So, top 10 players in Division 6 for domination. Synoptics from from MSMK. Sozshell from Zold, Mark Titan from Divine Gaming Viserion, Kelly from TNT-O, which has literally just disappeared from my brain.
Osiris.
Osiris, thank you. I apologize, Berserker. And then we have Berserker from TNT Osiris, Captain Vors from MSMK, Alice 13. I think I'm saying that right.
Yes.
From TNT Osiris, Peacekeeper 54 from Zold, Zanny from MSMK, and Myth from Divine Gaming Viserion.
Nice. And
I
then
can't believe Osiris slipped my mind.
yeah, it will happen.
Oh,
Happens to the best of us.
like I don't even look at myths and legends. It's sad.
Right, moving on then to the last division, and that is Division 7.
Right, so top 10 players, Division 7 for domination. Essex Desire from TNT Regicide, Chiron 777 from Rex, Jazza Zim from Rex, Dragon PDT from, of course, PDT, Scooby Dude from CTK. I like that name as well.
That is very cool, right? That is very
Scooby Dude.
Yes, I wonder if he comes with sound effects. Like, anyway, carry on.
We've got to find out, because if I ever stream a CTK game, I'm gonna do that.
Yes,
Sorry.
even me, I'm
It has
gonna
to
do
happen.
the Scooby sound. Not that I'm good at the Scooby sound, but we'll try anyway.
All right, so Koi Batman.
Sorry, carry on. I'm distracting you.
Koi Batman from TNT Regicide, Redacted BTW from Digital Devils, Berserk Wolf from TTK, Ziggy from TNT Regicide, and Slung ZN from PDT.
Nice, nice. Also nicely balanced there, right?
Yep.
So that is the stats, and how amazing was that? So guys, very quickly,
Sure.
I'm not gonna put it up again. I'll just tell you what we covered tonight. We of course covered total stats for the domination season or the domination league so far. We showed you the brand new team cards or the team stats cards, and those will be available on every team's page by the weekend, right? And very cool. Go and have a look at what those stats are all about. Then of course we also showed you top teams, and we showed you the top 10 players overall for domination, and then of course we showed you top players or top 10 players by division. So that is really a lot of stats that we covered tonight, right?
It is. It is.
So at this point, Mr. Black Sailor Ranger, sir, thank you very much for coming. We really enjoy having you around, and that
Yeah,
calculator,
he's so quiet.
that calculator
quiet
and the
during
brain
the,
of the man is amazing. Is amazing, right? So we're very happy to have him on board. And guys, as you of course know, if you have been following Clan Wars for some time, at the end of season 2, we actually upgraded some modules on our website that has now allowed us here in season 3 to be able to bring you some of these very cool and nice and interesting stats. And of course, the one thing that I do have to call out about the stats, they are of course league specific, right? They have absolutely nothing to do with the COD stats tracker that tracks pub games and your social Friday night games and that sort of stuff. All these stats are specifically related to the comp and to the league itself. So that's actually pretty cool.
So no boosting stats.
Exactly.
No, and also the stats are not affected by you trying to get Damascus.
There we go. So of course now we have to head on to the last part of tonight's show, which is the divisional tables, right? And we're going to actually go through them quite quickly because they have been updated as of the end of the first part, which is the domination part of the season. And of course there was a week break in between, which was transfer week, and allowed some teams to make some changes, maybe some logo changes, added some players. There were also some teams picked up by sponsors and that sort of thing. So transfer week went relatively smoothly, actually. And
Sure.
well, look, there's always a snag here and there.
For you, maybe.
There's always a snag here and there, but generally speaking, it went pretty well. So these stats have been updated for the last week on the website. So we're not going to spend a lot of time on them. We'll very quickly go through them. And it is just to basically kick off and tell you where the teams are here at the start of the Hardpoint week. And for the next 7 weeks, the teams will be facing off on Hardpoint. And I'm very interested to see just how these league tables will change over the next 7 weeks. And starting there on Division 1, at the moment we have VDT there in the top position, followed by CPR. In third position, GSE, and they are very closely followed by UB. EVL there in 5th position, and just below them we have the Phoenix Warriors, and they claim the 6th position there. The scores at the moment range from 4,485 in top position down to around 3,493, so really not a big gap. I mean, that's about 900 points give and take, which is considering how far we are into the season, actually not that big. Then we move on to Division 2, and again, this is the last time that you will see them as F2O, or First to Obliterate. They will have both a name change as well as a logo change from next week, but at the moment still First to Obliterate leading the pack there with 5,235 points. Second position, Dark Divine, and they have 5,038 points. Third position there being held by Motion Esports with 4,704. And then look at the girls coming up there in fourth position with 4,596 points. So very small gap there at the moment between third and fourth. We also call that out when looking at the team cards. And then in fifth position, Project Alpha Tarkmach, and they are on 4,261. LLG then there in sixth position with 3,986. And actually LLG's new logo is already there, because I changed it literally this afternoon. So so there we go. I'm already starting to make the changes. I have to for us to keep on the timelines.
Well, I mean, I put it on. I put it on. It hasn't been made round yet, but it's there.
Yes, yes. I need to make it look pretty in the table itself. And then, of course,
Yes.
just below LLG there, we have the team of Gig. And they are on 3,968, followed by Bob there in the 8th position with 3,740. And that is your Division 2. Division 3, we have Divine Gaming, and that's, of course, the Dragon team. And they are at the moment on top there with 4,371 points. Project Beta Tarkmach is on 3,451, and they are followed very closely by 4Q, and they are on 3,385. Then, of course, we have the team of S17, which has, after the domination part of the season, unfortunately left the tournament, so they will not be proceeding for the hardpoint section of the tournament. And which means that the team in 5th position, their Blah, will start moving up, but they're currently on 3,026. And then, of course, we have the teams of Fire with Fire, and the team right at the bottom there with 411 points is the ex-team of RMZA, and that was, of course, the Reapers team. Moving
So
on.
that player card will be in red.
Yes, that's true as well. Moving on then to Division 4, and this is actually a hectic division. But we have the team of TNTA there. That's, of course, the Amuba team, and they are on 5,093 points, followed very, very closely by the team of Fear. In second there with 4,943. FTWK holding the 3rd position there, again, very small gap with 4,809 points, and then Blur coming up there on 4th with 4,763. And again, I want to call this out. If we take away the red and the yellows, then of course Blur would have been much higher up there. But they are, of course, followed.
You know that Blur would have been almost in 1st position.
Correct. They would have been second, just below TNT Amuba.
Mm-hmm.
In 5th position there, we have Invasion Gaming with 4,718. They are followed by Cloudy or C7 with 4,164 points. And then, of course, Toxicity and Pink, who have, of course, also or are no longer in the tournament from the domination part of the season, right? I had to think about that for a second. So, Seeker, I need you to entertain me with something, because I need to take a sip of my Red Bull.
Is that okay?
That's from
That
Circus
works.
Charlie, right? There used to be a game called Circus
yes.
Charlie on the old.
I mean, I
Dragon.
can also do the one from the pest. Na 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 na.
No, I'm okay with Circus Charlie. And actually, there was more than one game that used that. Circus Charlie used that, and then there was a game called Mappy. Remember those Dragon consoles, the ones with the cartridges, which you had to blow to make it work. I don't know if we have
I have
viewers
so
that
many
are.
jokes about that.
Yes, the thing is, I'm giving away my age here, because if you have like very young viewers, they will not understand why you have to blow on a game to make it work, right? But yes, there was a time that we had to do that.
There's so many jokes.
Yes,
so
don't. Just
so
don't.
inappropriate.
No, just don't go there. Division 6.
So inappropriate.
Division 6. At the top, there we have the Monkeys. Monkey See, Monkey Kill. And they are on 4,450 points. And of course, they've only lost that 50 points. They would have been on 4,500 points, but then picked up that yellow in their last game. So on 4,450. Followed closely by Divine Gaming, and that's, of course, the Viserion team on 4,153. In 3rd position, there is Zold, 4,127. And then, of course, we have the team of Osiris. That's TNT Osiris with 3,997. Just below them in 5th, we have the team of 4Q, 3,830. In 6th position there, we, of course, have Outlaw Gaming, 3,467. And then Fire with Fire there at the bottom. Now, something that I want to
Missed
call out
Division
with...
5.
Did I? Well, I'll go back to Division 5 then. But what I want to call out here quickly for...
Chris is calling out that you missed Division 5.
Sorry, Chris. Finger fault. But what I want to quickly call out here for Outlaw Gaming is that we, of course, had Eckhard on our broadcast last week, right?
Yes, yes.
And I want to congratulate him. His little daughter was born, so he
Yes.
welcomed her into the
Little
world,
Aurora.
little Aurora, and he dropped some pictures for us on the captain's group and so forth. And absolutely beautiful little girl. And congratulations to Eckhart as well, who is now also a proud owner of a new little girl.
Proud owner of a GSG goal.
There,
Yes.
there we go. There we go. Right, so quickly jumping back then to Division 5. Apologies, guys. But in the top there we have, and I see you've already changed the name. Well done, Sigurd. We have the team of OGC Esports, and they are leading the pack there with 5,103 points, followed by Falcon Gaming very closely, 4,836. B1 in third position there, 4,773. And just below them in fourth, Phoenix Phantoms, and they are on 4,634. In fifth position, we have Boar, 4,541. And then, of course, the teams that have dropped out, which is PWK, Negs, and Zion. Zion, of course, dropping out very early in the tournament. And hopefully the teams that we see here will have the stamina to then go through and finish the entire season and pick up that, I almost said untamed, and pick up that To The End award, right? Yes, are you distracted? Are you reading the chat?
By the chat a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I reckon. Right, so let's move on to Division 7 then. And this is the last division. And there we have CTK leading the pack with 4,470 points. Very closely on their heels, second position, 4,371 is the team of Rex. And then we have in third position PDT, 4,187. Just below them on fourth, and I mean literally just below them on fourth.
Like 3 points?
Like 3 points below them on fourth, we have the team of TNT Regicide with 4,184 points. And then, of course, the Lords of Latency with 4,138. They are followed by SDS in sixth position, 3,371. And then, of course, the team of Digital Devils there at the bottom with 2,701 points.
Very important, that 1 point.
Yes, absolutely. But here's the thing. We are now officially halfway. So this is only half, right? So a lot of these teams still have quite a significant distance to go to the end, right? I mean, we're looking at 7 weeks of Hardpoint. Of course, that's starting this week. And man, I think some of these tables are going to look different in a few weeks from now.
Yeah, I think Hardpoint is a different beast altogether. I mean, there's a lot of clans in here that obviously, they got to the places where they were because they did Hardpoint in season 2. Season 3 came along, domination threw them a little bit, and now Hardpoint's coming back. So we might see some shifting happening.
Absolutely. Now, there is an important question that is asked, or that was asked.
Perplexed, yes.
Perplexed. You had to ask, right? And guys, for the moment, actually currently there are no Season 4 weapons banned. Sorry, and I need to correct that, right? That doesn't mean you can play with them, right? What that means is that how do I say this? You're not allowed to play with them yet.
Essentially, we ban the new season weapons while we give sort of the COD developers a chance to sort of balance out the weapons, because a lot of the time what we see in Call of Duty is new weapons that come out tend to be very OP or broken in a way. So, a couple of like a month or two or a couple of weeks or so after they actually released, they start giving updates for them, and they actually give them like more balancing. So for now, no, you cannot use season 4 weapons.
Except there's an exception.
Except the Cali sticks.
Except the Cali sticks, right? So the Cali
sticks. Just because it's fun to watch people get killed.
And it is a melee weapon. You have to have some skill to get close enough to kill a guy. So use it.
I mean, yeah, but it's also just fun to watch it on stream.
Absolutely. So the Cali sticks, guys, for season 4, that is the only season 4 weapon that is allowed for now. We anticipate that in about 2, probably maybe maximum 3 weeks from now, we will make some of the season 4 weapons available to be used in comp. But as Seeker said, what we've noticed with COD is that especially the first maybe 2 or 3 weeks that the new weapons are available, the developers themselves notice that some of these weapons are OP and they need to either, sort of be scaled down a little bit
Although
or be
I
nerfed
don't I
or...
don't know that they don't do that on purpose. I
Well, it's
mean, most
possible.
DLC weapons are grind weapons, so
Yes.
it forces you to play the game to have the more OP weapons. And then once everyone's got them, then they start to balance them out for competitive gaming.
Exactly. Well, I'm not going to say I don't know whether that's the case or not, but what you're saying makes perfect sense, though, right?
Yes, I'm gonna go with my theory. It's a good theory.
It's a good theory. It's a good theory.
Most of my theories are good.
I can believe
Saying.
it. I can believe it.
Hmm.
So there we go, guys. So for the moment, I want to make very clear that it's not that they are banned, because they are not banned, but you are not allowed to play with them yet until they are, let's call it, officially approved, right? But we are going to give it a few weeks for the guys just to, make sure they've done their changes to the weapons and whatever. And by all expectations, it normally happens about 3 weeks after the release. They have some sort of major update where they try and balance the weapons. And after that, we will
And by
include...
major, we mean huge.
Yes, and after that, we will include what we consider is okay to play with, and that's not incredibly OP. But for now, the only Season 4 weapon that is allowed will be the Calisticks, right?
Hmm.
Okay, so what else? Other questions in the chat, Seeker? What did I miss?
No, that's just comments on the new weapons. For instance, the CR56 AMAX would dominate a lot of games, and
That's
yes, we
that.
have seen that.
Yes, that's
It
my
is a
baby.
rough weapon.
That's my baby. Yes, yes. When I go to bed at night, I take a picture with of that. Here's my CR56
Whew.
next to me on the pillow.
There's all sorts of wrong happening there, but
No,
okay.
I love that way. That is such a crazy good weapon. I absolutely love it. No, it's really. I mean, you haven't played with it
Yeah.
yet, though, right?
No, no, no. I do way too much competitive to even bother with
Can
these
I tell you
weapons
that
until we're allowed to
weapon
use them.
and the Vinek? Oh my word! It is that
What do you
Vinek is
see?
it's like a handgun with attitude. It's amazing.
So basically, how we figure this out is we put Yaku with the new guns and we see what he really likes, and then we like, no, we can't use those in comp.
No, that's no. Why do you say that? That's not true.
Because you like the Renetti, you like shotguns
I like OP
sometimes.
guns, right? It helps with my skill.
Oh.
Anyway, all right. So there we go, guys. That is pretty much what we had for you guys for tonight, and we really hope you enjoyed the stream with us. Again, if you are subscribed to the channel already, you're awesome. If you are not, please hit that subscribe button and you can become awesome. And of course, if you like what we are trying to do here at Clan Wars, remember to please give us a like on this video. We always appreciate some good and positive feedback from the guys that are watching us every week as well. Seeker, any last words from your side?
Just thank you, Elia, for saying we do a great job. It's so nice. Thank you.
Yes, positive feedback, right? I like
Yeah,
it
I'm
as well.
blushing.
Well, now nobody will know because apparently we don't have face cams on. I actually wanted to call that out because earlier in the stream we had a comment by one of the viewers. I think it was John, who said no face cam again. And John, unfortunately, no, I don't do face cams when we do game streams or recap shows. However, we do the broadcast with full face cam. So if you are interested, then come and watch the broadcast. And on that note, our broadcast guest for Friday was supposed to be Blank from Blur. But then,
Yes.
of course, Blank had some load shedding issues and he
Yes.
couldn't make it. So we will move Blank's interview over to this Friday. And that is, of course, also the next stream that you guys will see from me is the broadcast. That'll be on Friday. Of course, broadcast is what I like to call the Clan Wars Talks and Chops show, where we just have some fun and we interview someone and we get to know a little bit about the players and the community and that sort of thing. So
Well,
if
it
you're
can no
interested
longer
in
be the
that,
Dops and Chops show because, we're not allowed to buy alcohol anymore.
well, now it's just a dope. No, it's just a chop show, ne?
Yeah.
Oh
And
my
only chops
word!
because we have to bra because we have no
You
electricity.
have no electricity and you have no alcohol, right? It's. I'm telling you, it's going
Wow.
south very fast. Anyway.
Yeah.
Guys, from my side, I think that is all that we had. Seeker, again, thank you very much for your company. It has been lovely as always. And we really appreciate everyone that joins in on our streams every week. Of course, the recap show this week a little bit late because of the load shedding issues, but we still hope you guys got the necessary information. It is Hardpoint that is kicking off this week, and I'm very, very excited to see how that goes. And provided I have power on Sunday, we will again be bringing you the recap show on its regular time slot on Sunday and tell you how this week went and what went down and the matches and the outcomes and so forth. But I think Hardpoint for the remainder of the season is going to be super exciting. Even me, I'm not 100% sure I want to call a winner yet. Because most of these scores are so close, and it's literally one match that can make a difference in a lot of these situations on the league table, right?
Definitely.
There we go. Sigurd, from my side, I think that is it. It was great.
Yeah, just obviously from my side, I want to say thank you to the League Masters. Obviously, we've got Little Green Monster, we've got Home Girl, and now we have Toxic Monkey, who are obviously very, very active on their side. They make sure that everything gets done, that all the teams are scheduled, and all the changes are made that need to be made, and all that kind of stuff. And you guys have no idea how much work it would be if we didn't have you around. So thank you so much.
I don't want to find out. Stick around.
And of course, our stats master. I mean, we've said thank you to him so many times tonight, but thank you, Black Sailor Ranger, for all the work you put in, making sure that everything is up to date every week, making sure that nobody's playing with unregistered players, etc., etc. So if you guys want to go, like, I almost said something nasty there that I shouldn't say on a stream, but if you want to complain about anyone finding your unregistered players, please divert your messages to Black Sailor Ranger, because he's the one who generally pops up going, this person is not on my list.
You just painted a target on Black Sailor Ranger. Sorry about that, Gerard.
It's okay. And Mrs. Black Sailor Angel will probably give them hell as well. So it's
there you go. It's all good. It's all good. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for joining us. We had an absolutely great show, and we hope you enjoyed it as well. But I think from our side, that is all that we had for tonight. I'm Yakasal for Battle Bros. Leave no one standing.